above warding, which some players play like that, but it does open up a lot of risk in terms of how are you going to deal with Dragon, especially in that early and mid game.
Yeah, that's right. And don't forget to go to ogn.azubu.tv and vote for your Azubu Super Play Awards player. Lots of cool stuff from today, I'm sure. Faker already kind of making a statement to get yet another win in that one, I think, today. Hard to beat him.
He's Ezreal. We've seen it only beaten once in his career so far, and that's been a champion he has prioritized very heavily this season. LeBlanc and Rumble, same bans. Will the Nunu be taken out as well? And the Lee Sin, of course, still available.
I think you still do ban the Nunu. I mean, it just isn't something that you want to have to deal with if you're not used to it, you know? Nobody else in Korea really runs the Nunu right now, so you're not going to get a lot of practice against this thing.
Also,
they're thinking hard about it, though.
With the way Peanut plays, if he is going to continue to emphasize kill pressure, then you want to have him on a more mechanical, high-damage, ganking jungler early on. But I think the Nunu is a perfect pick for SKT. Won this game. They had the big counter jungle presence and the big ward presence in the last game. Nunu is exactly the right type of jungler to continue to abuse that advantage.
Absolutely. Well, here's where you ban the Gnar. I think that is what I would recommend. It also does put a lot of pressure on Najin. They're going to ban the Lee Sin instead. So, again, just kind of put all the pressure onto the Peanut that they can. The Peanut. Onto
the Peanut.
Onto the Peanut. Okay. That's like if you're very good, you get to put like the before your name. You know?
The Faker.
You're not just Faker, you're the Faker at that point. It's true. You're not just Peanut, you're the Peanut.
Is that why the Joker is the Joker?
Yeah, because he's the best of all Jokers.
And the Batman.
The Batman, yeah. See what I mean? Yep. It's true. The Emperor. It's not just Emperor, it's the Emperor.
Well, Jarvan may be the takeaway. I don't agree with this draft decision, actually, from Najin. I think Bengi will naturally gravitate to the Nunu anyway.
Well, I think they're just trying to keep Peanut comfortable, you know?
Well, he's obviously very comfortable on Rengar, but also since they may lose the Lulu this time.
Yeah. Well, I think that's, kind of the thought, if they're going to probably lose the Lulu, then why first pick the Rengar? All right, it's going to be Lulu Corki for SKT. So possibly, wonder if we'll see Bengi actually pick up that Rengar.
Prior to playing the GE Tigers as well, Bang was 100% win rate on Corki this season, and indeed I believe he remains so because Corki won every single game in that series. So Bang has been very strong overall on that pick, and SK Telecom with such a powerful mid-game like they had in that last one. It's a perfect time to use Corki, and frankly, SKT could just use Corki, Ezreal, Lulu right here again if they want to. Najin has to decide whether they want to take away the Ezreal pick in the draft or not.
Well, I mean, if they did that, I would imagine OQ's probably going to be playing it. I mean, Rain could, but...
Oh, Rain's been playing a lot of Ezreal, actually, in solo queue. One of his top 3 most played champions so far this season. So we could see that, but the Lissandra also available.
I like the Lissandra.
You're really playing with fire right here because Corki Ezreal is harder to itemize against because the magic damage from the rockets and the physical damage from the Ezreal Q spam.
Now this would be interesting. A mid Morgana, and I would imagine that's going to go for Faker. We'll see if they throw it up in the top lane for Marin, and it would make a lot of sense if they're going to pair this with a Nunu.
Azir would also be a strong pickup here for SKT. That may move
Could be
them,
a support, yeah.
It may move them too much into the camp of excessive AP damage, but Gnar has not been selected yet either. So that's a real possibility for SK Telecom. Just put that Lulu in the mid lane.
Yeah, they still could.
So Morgana will be the counter pick up against the Thresh from Kane. And the Nunu, no surprise there.
Yep.
The Nunu is, I think that was such a good ban. I actually really disagree with banning the Veigar. And I think Nunu was the proper ban in this situation because of the way SKT played in the last game. Giving them Nunu just gives them more power to get wards and counter jungle you, which is exactly what killed you in the last game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if OQ's going to try his hand. No, going for the Callista in the end, and there is a Xerath.
Callista's, or OQ's previous game on Callista they really haven't been spectacular. So he really needs to turn it up here. That hasn't been one of his better champions compared to a pick like Tristana. And will we see the Hecarim last pick?
Right.
Okie dokie.
Nice. I like it. I like it. So that will end up being, unless they swap it. They've got a little bit of time to swap it yet, but so far, okay, they will. I was going to say, looks like we might even have a support Lulu, but nope, it's going to the mid lane. Makes a lot more sense there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a support Morgana because it was a counter pick to the Thresh. So you can tell that going in.
Took a long time to switch it. But.
Yeah, Faker also. Lulu was a champion he played a lot last season. We haven't seen too many games of Lulu from Faker so far this season. Rain will be playing the Xerath. That is the champion he has played the most in solo queue recently.
Well, we'll see how he stacks up against some of the other great Xeraths we've seen in Korea. GBM, Faker. We'll see where Rain rates.
So this will be our first game of Hecarim here in Korea.
Yeah.
Well, not ever, but in a long time.
Well, our first this season, I suppose.
Yeah, really, Hecarim was never a big pick in Korea, even when it was popular, particularly in China.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been a champion that has been emphasized very heavily within the Korean scene. But he is very good right now, and he does offer just an insane amount of tankiness.
I feel like he's a pretty good Scion replacement right now, you know? that's how I kind of think of him. Let's get into game number 2, see who takes it. You know, at this point, I feel like OGN's just trying to make intros that Chinese teams can't copy. They're like, all right, we're raising the stakes. Now we've got a bird. Match that LPL.
Now we have a real hawk.
That's right. Now we're going to put an actual hawk in our intros. Good luck. You can copy. We use Imagine Dragons. You guys can use it in yours as well. You can copy our style. But will you be able to include a real live hawk in your intro? I don't know. The gauntlet has been thrown. Well, here we go. Game number 2 between SKT and Najin e-mFire. Duke throwing the Q over the wall. Martin just putting down the ward.
It's interesting to see Hecarim coming back. Of course, he does fit with a lot of the heavy engaged team fighting styles that we've seen. He was buffed in 5.1, increasing his spammability of his Rampage, his Q, in the laning phase, and also allowing him to heal a little bit more within the minion wave.
Right.
So it's been a little bit hit or miss, I will say, in other regions, but SKT's been playing around with some new picks in the last few weeks, and also the combination of Marin engaging with his ultimate and a Lulu ult is going to be pretty disgusting. That is just a great initiation tool combo. And, you know, Gnar falling all the way through picks and bans here. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, especially in a game with Duke in it.
Right. And he turned in a very good performance on Gnar in the last game, as usual. So I'm curious what OQ is going to build this game. He hasn't been building that Hurricane, generally speaking. Oh my, the level 2 cheese is real.
Here we go, Bengi coming in. Peanut's going to be forced away from that red buff.
That is just so annoying.
Yeah, really? Do you really want to fight this Peanut?
Well, he does have the advantage, actually, if his bottom lane walks up, but he's still going to keep dueling right there with the Nunu. And
yes.
That is... This entire game plan is just trying to mess with Peanut and Ray. Bengi just going to reset the timer on that as well.
Wow, Pikaboo taking a bit of damage, getting grabbed by Kane. Some decent poke coming in from the Najin side on that one. Kane, though, taking a lot of damage as well. Look at these stats. Of course, 100% win rate for Bang on that Corki. OQ looking a little bit shakier on the Callista pickup.
Yeah, wow. I just can't believe how much they've turned up the pressure on Peanut right here, really putting him through the ringer in the last couple of games. Those buff steals hurting him both times. So I wonder if SKT knew that Peanut was going to be played before they came in tonight, because this seems like a pretty Peanut-focused strategy from them,
Yeah.
or if they just had an idea and decided to adapt on the fly. But Bengi with that Nunu, he's just so annoying.
You know, I think it's one of those things where you can make a very good educated guess based on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, probably, of course, him turning 17 at the beginning of February.
Yep. Probably some info from scrims as well recently.
That's true.
Yeah. The fact that Watch was hanging out with a hawk instead of being in scrims. Staring contests, you know. Hawks can't snap their fingers, though, so Watch does win that one. Advantage, Watch.
And, well, Peanut will be pretty sad without a red buff going through this jungle, but
So,
now the question is, when we saw last game when they got the timer on that red, so you'll notice that Bengi was very methodical about clearing out the little brambleback so he knew exactly when that timer would come up. In the last game, they just repeatedly invaded blue after the first steal, trying to deny that as much as possible from Rain. So will they continue just to invade at every single spawn from this point on? Now, they don't have the pressure in the bottom lane this game, so it will make it a little bit harder to keep moving into the bottom side.
yeah. Peanut already dropping a level to Bengi right now. It's getting a little bit tricky.
Yeah, he'll be okay. He's got the Trailblazer, so he's going for the faster clear. I'm a bit surprised to see Bengi going for the Stalker's Blade, but obviously wants to get some more slows down if and when he decides to gank.
Yep.
Marin moving into the top side, going for...
Oh, here we go. Flashing on the Faker to make sure he hits him with the QE combo. Faker flashes into the turret. Oh, that was close. Wow, that was almost a little bit of a misclick there for Faker.
Yeah. Oh, also should be worth noting that Marin has actually taken Ignite Teleport in the top lane, a very unusual summoner spell. You know, normally we'd see Ghost with Hecarim just because that allows him to engage a little bit better. But because there's a Lulu in this game and a Nunu, so he can get increased attack speed, actually he's going to be moving fast enough with the Whimsy that they wanted some more kill pressure up in the top side.
They caught Bang. Black Shield used on the Peekaboo. Bang using the Valkyrie to get away, but that's a lot of damage coming in from OQ's autos in that Rend. Oh boy.
I really like that adjustment actually from SKT. Under most circumstances, you would never run that, but with their team composition, it's actually going to probably be pretty effective and give them a lot more pressure onto Duke on the top side in terms of kill potential. So very interesting play here. Also double heal on Najin, so that can shut down one of their heals pretty effectively as well. SKT looking a lot smarter, looking a lot crisper than we've seen them in the past. They did look good against GE as well, but hard to tell if that's a one-time thing, but they finally seem to have gotten their act together after some questionable early plays.
They needed it. It was not the prettiest first half of the season for SK Telecom, but
Yeah,
it looks like they want to start out the second half a lot stronger.
More deep wards coming in as well.
Yeah.
Bengi gonna just go straight for the solo dragon. He has knowledge. Let's see, we do see Peanut is going to be creeping around the bottom side. He hasn't been seen.
Peanut knows what's up. He could try to come in here for a steal. He does have smite
They
available.
don't know he's there.
No flash to get out. Okay. Xerath coming in. They lock up Peanut with the Dark Binding. Bengi, can he finish off this dragon?
There's no way they can steal it from this Nunu without killing him. No.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Consume Smite, too strong.
Yep.
And they will secure that. Man, SKT, props to them. I'm very impressed that they came in with such a specific strategy against Najin in these matches. So that's another dragon down. I mean, Najin just hasn't been able to get a dragon so far tonight.
Duke getting a little bit bullied by Marin.
The timing on those wards, too, you notice when Bengi put them down, they're going to be up for the red spawn as well, which we're about to see. But there's no presence at the red buff at the moment, but they will catch the timer. So.
All right, well, he still decides to go in, and there's a flay, flays him out of the Valkyrie. There's a flash used. First blood goes to OQ. Nice play by Kane.
Good patience.
Really good, yeah.
Good patience on that one, following it in, and that's just a straight-up 2v2 kill, something that we rarely see Bang succumb to, actually. He had such...
Oh, Duke could be in a bit of trouble here. Well, never mind. I guess he does enough damage to Marin. Snowball, though. Bengi.
He has ult. He's fine.
Yeah.
is good.
Well, thanks for killing the Hype. Look, he's
That's
still
what
chasing.
I do.
I could be getting all excited about this right now, but no. See, Hype could have lasted till right about then.
Well, with no
Killed it early.
With no movement abilities, Marin really wasn't going to catch up to him right there.
He's Hecker him, man.
He's got his Q.
He has 4 legs. He has twice the legs.
Or his E, rather, his charge.
That too, yeah. True enough. Stun onto Faker there. A little bit of damage coming in from Rain, whose mana is getting a bit low. And you can see Bengi try to contest that blue buff. Xerath certainly needs it, but it looks like this one's going to go over to Najin this time around.
Yep. So no follow-up on the buffs, but getting that dragon was far better than following up on that red anyway. And like I said, those wards were put in at an opportune time, so they would see it. They can continue to pray.
Whoa. Here we go. Bang's got to be careful. That's a lot of rend. Oh, it was nearly enough. Peekaboo taking some damage as well. And there's a flame. That's going to be enough. And OQ with another kill. Wow, OQ Kane doing work in this bot lane.
Yeah, and look at this build, too. Very unusual.
Oh,
Vamp
yeah.
Scepter into Zeal.
That is bizarre.
I don't even know what to make of this, Joe. I mean, yes, it will give him more leaping action in this laning phase and give him a chance to chase
more
people
rend
down.
stacks, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
But I just haven't seen this build before. Normally you would see somebody go for a recurve bow.
Well, it just seems like a very well-tailored
Look
2v2
at
fighting
that.
build. Great ult coming in from OQ Kane, following it up with that box. And
I'm
yeah.
actually surprised OQ triggered the Ren so early right here when he did seem to have a few more possible autos on the Peekaboo, but he did nearly kill Bang with it and finishes it off with the Q from Callista. So OQ really starting to be very dominant here, and I actually think this build is very interesting.
Well, I mean, like I was saying, I think it's just very tailored to having early 2v2 fights, you know, really taking advantage of that level 6 as soon as you get it.
I agree. So I'm wondering where he goes. Probably he's going to just go into fast Shiv here. Maybe fast Phantom Dancer, depending on how much wave clear they think they need.
Maybe. Marin doing a decent amount of damage to Duke, but he can kind of make an exit whenever he wants to. Whoa, pops the ult.
Oh,
and Marin getting ulted there as well. That was a bit awkward.
Well, Duke actually flashed out of that ult and then immediately countered with an ult of his own. Peanut with an invade.
Yeah,
he has
caught,
no
though.
wards. What are you doing there?
Yep, chaining that CC, and the stun coming in on Bengi doesn't hit because of that black shield. Oh, Rain trying to pick someone off with the ult. Bengi still survives. No, the Ren from OQ does it. And there's another kill coming in this time for SKT. Faker in trouble, though. A double kill for OQ. This Callista is already starting to get out of control.
I don't even know where Faker was going right there. He kind of just wandered straight into the middle of that team fight. Maybe knew he was dead. We'll have to take a look at that one again. But, man, Callista doing some work right now. And this is such a strange build, but does give her a little bit of crit early on as well. So
yeah, that does help.
Get lucky. Do output quite a bit of damage. OQ is in major hard carry. Look at the CS differential. He is just bossing Bang around. I haven't seen Bang lose lane this hard, like, ever.
Yeah. This is not a typical laning phase for SKT. Well, where do you go from here? I mean, we'll see what OQ builds into. I mean, if the kills stop, and Bang's able to kind of stabilize a bit, you do have to kind of wonder how much damage this build for OQ is going to do once they get to the mid game. You know, will they be able to get enough of a lead to make it worth it?
Oh,
what do you think?
Yeah, Callista getting this far ahead early on is scary. Oh my,
Here
Kane's
we
going!
go. Wow, Peekaboo just gets totally jumped on another kill for OQ, and now Bang Valkyring out of that fight.
That was
they
actually
traded supports, I guess, but
that was actually making quite a bit out of that gank attempt.
yeah, I'm surprised they got a kill on the Kane.
It's good presence from Bang right there, considering he's horribly under-itemized right now due to his lack of cash. But Callista hasn't had a chance to go back and turn all of that money that OQ made into items yet, so he's pretty much still on par in terms of power by items as Bang at this stage. He needs to actually convert that into an advantage, which is part of the reason why that trade went the way it did.
Sure enough.
Looks like Marin's going, Marin's going for that fast home guard again into Trinity Force, so he needs to start making plays out on the map. He's got to do something with this. You buy those home guards early. That's what Marin does, but doesn't mean anything if you can't translate that into some plays elsewhere.
Yeah. Quick sightstone for Bengi as well, too, so he's going to be able to keep a good amount of vision on the enemy jungle. And like we talked about before, that's what Najin kind of failed on as the game progressed. So SKT maybe trying to take some advantage of that. They're going to go for this dragon here.
Najin needs to stop losing these dragons. I mean,
it's hurting.
They're not even setting up properly for them in this game. They don't have the wards. Finally, some going into the pit. They lose two, and with the pink ward right in the dot brush, there's also a pink ward at the front of the pit. They've just got to poke. Maybe Kane can make something happen, but Okyu's just not there.
Black Shield on Bengi is going to protect him long enough, and that's going to be another easy dragon. Peanut comes in, manages to make it out on the Lantern, though, so at least no kills handed over. Oh, looks like Marin, though, catching Duke, got the fear, got the kill. That's just a straight-up 1v1 from Marin.
Have to be so careful when the enemy has an ignite like that.
Peekaboo brought in. That's going to be a lot of damage there. Black Shield deleted almost instantly. Peekaboo uses that ult. Okyu getting very low. Will the ignite be enough? No, not quite. Here comes Bengi, though. They're going to need to get out of there in a hurry. SKT still very much in this game, despite that early lead from Okyu. We got a fast Bloodthirster with that.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of these Bloodthirster builds first, but when you have this much of an advantage, it actually can do a lot of work because you can maintain, you can continue to trade and still come out on top. Bengi, wow.
No ult, though. I don't know if they're going to...
I don't know what he can do right here.
Yeah. Okay, so they will just go ahead and recall.
Wow, you have to be so careful in the top lane. Very surprised that Duke died like that. He may have been worried about a teleport from Marin because his teleport was down.
Yep.
And so he may have to he may have felt he had to face check a bush just to make sure that TP wasn't going to get used on his unsuspecting teammates. And then Najin still has a good gold lead, but 2 drags down already.
Yeah, and you look at Faker versus Rain, too, in the mid lane. Faker has that Athene's done already. Rain, I'm sure, can finish his when he goes back, but Faker's been able to get a little bit of an edge there.
You know, throughout this entire series, the biggest issue with these dragons has been not only the vision, of course, but also they have abused Okyu's recalls so well.
Oh, yeah.
Every time he goes back, they are at that dragon taking it, and Najin caught with their pants down a little bit, not really able to respond or counterplay in any way. And here come more deep wards. I mean, Peekaboo should not be allowed to be back here by himself right now. He should just die. I mean,
he's recalling deep within the enemy jungle right now.
There's no excuse for this. You can't let a support just wander past your red buff. That is such aggressive ward play from SKT against a team that actually had more wards themselves. This would be suicide. So SKT probably couldn't get away with this against teams like GE. This is kind of abusive towards a new jungler right now, and you know, really, Peanut's going to look at this game a little bit. This is a great learning experience for Peanut, but Kane, you know, he should be working better, I think, with the jungler on this, especially considering his veteran status.
Well, I mean, he went for such a fast Ruby Sightstone too. You'd think he'd be, you know, all the more aggressive about keeping things well warded.
Well, Peanut didn't have a Sightstone last game on this jungler.
Well, that was a problem.
Well, you know, you're playing Rengar, you're probably not going to get one, but you kind of trade up that vision control for more kill potential in the mid game. That's kind of the trade-off you make when you're picking Rengar with that kind of composition. But in this game, he does have that Sightstone, so he has to get the right wards down moving in right now. And see him looking at that top side, trying to kill off the crab. They want to make a play up here. Okyu has been swapped into the Hecarim lane.
Yeah, a lot of people moving up to that top lane. Kane is right there as well with Peanut. And they're going to make a quick exit. They've got a ward. They see people coming down wards for both teams in that lane, actually. Oh, Duke coming in, and they get the flash from Bang. Nice little trade there. Getting that summoner out of the way. I think the lane swap is working okay in the bot lane anyway for Najin.
Looks like Okyu will be going for a Shiv. As this next item, wanting that additional little bit of wave clear. Marin is trying to get spell shielded so he doesn't get slowed down, and Faker finds a pink ward, but can't quite take it out. He's trying to stop Duke from recalling.
Oh, he does. Duke could be in a bit of trouble. Is it bursting up? There's a wild growth right away. Duke trying to get over the wall, and he can.
Is Faker to flash
makes it. Well, yeah, he could have flashed off.
He has no
One,
mana.
that's why I said flash.
Marin!
Giddy up. Whoa! He's over the wall, and there's a kill. Oh, ult used for Rain too. He wanted a piece of that, but no, I don't think the ult's gonna help Rain. I don't know. Well, making plays with the home guard teleport. You wanted it, you got it.
I did want it.
You got it. He's like a more entertaining Scion, really. This Hecarim. I like it.
I love the way Marin plays.
Certainly entertaining. Had to flash for that one too, but whatever. It's all right, we're ready.
He was well set up. I mean, look at the deep wards. Again, these deep wards just
charge.
Kind of the nail in Najin's coffin in these games. And can't confuse him. I suppose he forced the ult out. It's a minor victory.
I really don't know what Rain was planning on doing with that Xerath ultimate, though. It's like, I don't think you can three-shot a full health Hecarim with your ult. No. Sorry.
I don't think that was a particularly good use of his ult right there
I don't think so either. Oh, well.
Well, OQ, it's up to you to carry this game. You have all your team skills. You've got your static shift now. You've got the your core item up on the other AD carry. Marin going to smash himself directly into a tower with that Sheen and take it out. So 3 towers. Well, oops, I mean 2 towers to 1 right now. In favor of Najin, but they are slowly catching up in terms of gold. 20 seconds until this dragon, and finally, Doa, Najin is set up for 1. They were only set up for 1 last game, but they got stolen by Bengi.
Marin recalling right now, and he can get back to this dragon in a hurry.
Okay, setup is good this time. They have the crab, they've got the pink wards. They should have the edge. They have no teleport. Duke a little bit delayed getting into the mid lane, so can they protect this Marin?
Marin's going to get there faster, man. He's Hecarim with home guard. He's home guard Hecarim. I'd be a little bit worried if I was Najin right now, man. It's all on OQ. Like you said, they're going to start that dragon. They're going to leave it in the pit. And here we go, ult up for Marin. A lot of damage on the Bang, though. Rain really doing work, allowing that dragon to go through. It will go to Najin. So even if they lose Rain here, it's worth it. They grab Peekaboo, too. That's going to be another kill. Bengi trying to zone people out. It's not going to work. And this could lead to a kill on him. Hecarim coming through. There we go. The ult used by OQ. Bengi in a lot of trouble, gets flayed back. Tries to come in, but the Rend will do it. And so a dragon and 3 kills for Najin. And just like that, the lead jumps out to 4,000 gold for Najin e-mFire.
And finally, they get the vision control down. But you can see this Najin lineup has a lot of mechanically talented players coming in, and their team fighting still good. Good delay there by Rain.
Oh, here's the ult coming in, and he's going to chase right on a Xerath, who nearly gets out, but doesn't quite make it. The fight continues. Kane in a bit of trouble here. Bang firing from the outside, but he's got to be careful. Peanut not quite anymore. Peanut just getting chopped to pieces by Marin, but OQ coming in, floating on the damage, and it looks like it's going to be another double. OQ, they are just slaughtering people with this Kalista. 8-0-1 right now. It was a 2-for-2 trade, though. Was it worth it? I think to get this Kalista farther ahead, I would argue that it is.
Yeah, I think it was too. Rain trying to be cute right there, does actually get Bang out of there, and Faker tries for the flash wild growth, but the Lantern saves at the last second, and he actually gets his ult off right before the Whimsy, so Rain able to finish Faker off on the side and then wander slowly down the river.
I guess so.
Float serenely down the river.
That's right.
More deep wards in. Faker and Peekaboo able to take this blue buff for free.
Yeah, pretty large lead overall, though, for Najin. We'll see if they can keep it up. It really is all on this Kalista right now, and there's a last whisper out of nowhere for OQ.
This game has some very interesting tension in it. Just like the first game, you feel like Najin is just outplaying SKT in the laning phase, but the lack of vision just means that SKT gets a million free objectives.
Oh, they tried to catch Faker, couldn't quite do it. OQ coming in doing a lot of damage. Faker forced to ult himself there. And that could lead to a pretty easy mid-turret for Najin now. In fact, it will.
I don't know who's going to stop this Kalista at this point. This is absolutely terrifying. Kane getting hurled into a wall.
But there's just not enough tankiness on the SKT side as well, too. I mean, Marin went for the Trinity Force. Bengi not going to have any armor anytime soon. It looks like he's going for Cowl. So, yeah. Who's going to stop this Kalista? Good question. I would wager nobody at this point. I mean,
well, this is the nightmare for itemization too.
One more. Wait for it. Dodge.
Hard to hit that Lulu with Whimsy up.
Yeah, it sure is. And the shield as well, too, makes it tough to get that last damage through.
Here we go. More plays about to be made, Noah.
Yeah, Bengi getting grabbed, getting blown up, and look at that. Ult comes in from Peanut. There's an easy kill onto Bengi. Man.
But this is the itemization nightmare, because if you're SK Telecom, you're facing a double AP composition, but you're dealing with a very fed single AD source. So what do you do? You're basically damned if you do, damned if you don't right here. He's 4,000 gold up on Corki. This is definitely going to be Bang's first loss on this champion, unless SK Telecom can really pull out a miracle.
I think a lot of that is going to rely on Marin, and a lot of it's going to rely on Faker surviving, and Marin getting 1v1 by Duke right now. It could be a kill. There's the flash, and Marin ulting away. Will he make it? Yes, he will. Barely escaping. A flash used there for Duke.
Yeah. Starting to turn around. Marin has the Trinity Force, but he's building armor now, so
yeah, he is.
He will have a little bit of a harder time dealing with split pushing against Duke.
So fast.
Going right back to farming up, but he's fallen behind in terms of CS, actually, in spite of his early kills. Marin's the only one doing well on Najin right now. This is really problematic for SKT, because Faker's really not going to be able to bail you out of this game on Lulu. He's not on a big carry, more of a utility mid laner, generally speaking. Bang has just totally missed his power spike thanks to OQ's early lane dominance. It's not going to get better from Corki from here on out. So basically, Hecarim has to somehow carry, and that's not a great position to be in, Doa.
Yeah, I mean, Peekaboo's going for that Zhonya's as well, so maybe he'll be able to get something done with a big ult. He's certainly going to be doing more damage with that needlessly large rod, but SKT, I mean, you can't count SKT out, but this is an extremely large lead for Najin. Like you said, the different types of damage coming in are really kind of key. There goes Hecarim. Stealing the Krug. Oh, they caught Faker again. Faker over the wall, but the Rend will do it again for OQ. Yet another kill, and Faker just not quite able to stay safe. But what do? Lulu's just not a champion that you can escape from this type of thing from.
No, and also he used his ult on himself and burned flash right there. It's just OQ can do way too much damage too quickly.
Yeah.
And
this is one of those games where you're like, report bot lane. fed too hard. If you would have fed that Kalista, we would have won.
Actually, probably true.
It's probably true, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. It's the story of this game.
Ward in the back of the pit. No vision for Najin.
Port Bang 9x.
Well, let's see here what we have in terms of our trinkets. Especially because, of course, that Oracle's line is getting a bit cheaper. And that would be highly useful in this situation. Najin should have one if they want to do this, but they're just going to not care, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, they're going to go for his Baron. It's at about half health. This could be bad.
It could be
Marin
really
coming in. They
bad.
could catch OQ here. Marin, there's the ult. He's going to use it to get out of the box. It's slowed anyway. And they're going to come in onto Duke. Duke blown up immediately, though. Peanut coming in with the Cataclysm. Bang going in onto Kane. A double kill for him before he finally goes down. But who's going to stop OQ? The answer is nobody. Nice ult onto Faker. Can they get the kill? They can. A triple now for OQ. Marin on the run, and while it was a dangerous Baron, certainly for Najin, once again, this Kalista, she's 12-0-2. You can't do anything to stop this at this point.
That was actually a really bad Baron call.
It was, but it didn't matter.
I mean, you're right. It didn't, but it still makes me sad on the inside, though.
It makes me sad, too. But when you've got a 12-kill Lissandra, or a Kalista, rather, whoever she is, she's scary.
There's just nothing you could do. Marin trying to split push right here. He can get down the turrets pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's going for that frozen heart. Maybe.
Marin just has to run right there. He's sitting in a pink ward. All right, let's take a look at that again. Marin, I'm not sure why he ulted past right here, because he's going to get hit by the box.
That was odd, yeah.
He also, the wild growth from Faker wasn't very good. He didn't actually knock anybody up. That looked like some pretty poor coordination from SK Telecom. Really, Marin should have just gone as much as he could straight onto OQ.
I feel like
seen if he could have just bursted him down.
it kind of feels like SKT's kind of checked out of this game, you know?
Yeah, they could have gone on to Rain too, actually. That may have been a better decision because of his lack of mobility. And because Rain flashed as soon as Hecarim charged in. Hecarim could have just charged in, waited for Rain's flash, and then immediately ulted onto Rain, and Rain wouldn't have been able to do anything about that. So, bit of a weird flank. And this has been one of Marin's issues, is that he's just not very good at flanking.
This is why his Gnar just hasn't been very spectacular, too. Is that, like you said, he's having trouble with the coordination when it comes to team fights. All right, well, Baron's still up. Najin wasn't quite able to take it in the end. Took some kills instead. They still have a 9,000 gold lead over SK Telecom.
And look at this, Toa. Up, Marin's here to auto a turret.
That's right.
He's using the secret horse split push tactics.
That's right. Tap your hoof 1 for second tier turret, twice for first. I don't know. It's like some Mr. Ed level stuff going on there.
Well, there's the Mercurial
There's a fight going on
Scimitar.
in bot lane right now, by the way. In fact, Marin's going to die to do. Yep. I thought so.
Marin didn't
I
even
thought so.
use Ignite right there.
Nope.
Interesting dual attempt.
Oh, Duke just came back in the lane and caught him. I mean, what can you say? He had to flash for it at the end, but when your opposing mid laner doesn't have flash at all, no, it's okay.
Yeah, it bums me out, Joe, because I was really looking forward to seeing this Ignite Hecarim in team fights with all the move speed buffs
I know, right?
SKT had, but basically this game was just entirely won by Najin in his laning phase.
And now it's going to be another year or two before we see Hecarim in a pro match again.
No!
Well, Baron going down. Here's Benki's chance to be a hero, and he can't quite do it. The Baron goes to that ridiculous damage coming in from Kalista. Meanwhile, there's the ultimate, and so much damage from Rain. A kill onto Faker there. Peanut comes in with the Cataclysm, and there's an easy ace. Oh, Marin coming up from death, so I suppose not technically an ace in the team fight, but everyone was dead at one point in that series of events.
I don't know why SKT would even try and steal that.
I mean,
Baron.
you've got Nunu.
Well, but you have Kalista.
Ah, you're right.
There's
Kalista
no
does
way
drop
you
Nunu.
can out damage the red stacks coming in on Baron.
Yeah, man.
That would be a pretty titanic misplay from OQ.
It's like bringing a rock-type Pokemon against a water-type Pokemon. It's just not going to go well.
Oh,
Yeah.
it certainly didn't. And there's an inhibitor down. I suppose SK Telecom, I suppose they kind of had to hope for a miracle right now in order to.
Well, that was the thing. They had to try something, right? I mean, they had to just kind of go for it. Let's watch them just try to go for it again. Let's look at how ridiculous this Ren damage is on monsters from Kalista.
And then the combination right here, too. The box straight into the Xerath ultimate, doing a lot of work. Kane goes down, but.
Well, I believe that was a 3-man knockup via the Kalista ultimate as well,
Yeah,
too. There,
really
that,
nice.
Then into the box and everything else. Pretty spectacular stuff. Very well played all game long by Najin.
Yeah, this new Najin is encouraging.
They certainly are. I mean, geez, I can't remember the last time we saw a Najin team win hard in the laning phase like that, you know? Had to be an old sword game or something back in the day.
Almost certainly. Well, it's their team fighting looks good. Najin, generally speaking, it's if they can shore up some of their very poor vision control, then this may be a very strong team.
Oh, OQ, got to be a little bit careful here. Pickaboo survives with like no health with the inhibitor. Taken
Go,
down.
Marin.
You can do it. They killed your inhibitor, but you can take out their tier 2.
Use your rampage to get
That's
your
right.
Sheen procs.
Spam that Q.
Worth. I mean, you can't do anything else right now. You might as well try and get some global gold because you're 100% not saving that inhibitor, even if he's there.
You know, I wonder if SKT asked Marin if he wanted to play Hecarim, and he just said, nay. That's a Korean language joke, guys. Some of you got it out there. Nay is yes in Korean.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very well played.
My first Korean language joke. That makes me fluent pretty much now, doesn't it? I think it does.
All right, well, another dragon up at 40 seconds right here. Najin pushing it to the top side. Might as well just play this out methodically. Okay,
Oh, well,
Kane.
All right. Gonna go in right onto Rain. Rain in a little bit of trouble. Flashes away. Dark Binding does not connect. Benki's zoning here. The rest of Najin suddenly there, and a kill for Rain. After things are all said and done, that Xerath is a slippery fellow sometimes, isn't he?
Not generally.
Not usually, but sometimes. Sometimes.
You know, it wouldn't be a Najin game without some questionable late game positioning that drags things out unnecessarily, would it?
I'd imagine they'll still try to throw in some way. Looks like this turret's going to be going down very soon. And looks like they just catch Faker. Wow. Here comes the ult, and the Cataclysm can't quite lock him down long enough. They're going to go on to Marin. Marin trying for another bit of a bizarre flank getting the back lines. Yep.
Oh, wasn't enough. He's got to live.
Almost. And Bang gets pulled into the fight, gets a kill on Duke before he goes down, though. And Peanut in a little bit of trouble here. The revenge of Faker is real. Kane dies before the death sentence can connect, and Peekaboo backing away. OQ trying to be that one-man wrecking ball that Najin wants him to be, that he has been all game.
Well, he did kill Hecarim eventually, but this is another instance of OQ gets distracted when there's a lead. He doesn't need to chase down the Hecarim. He just needs to get him out of the fight and walk in and try and kill the rest of his team, because he left everybody high and dry. Najin with some questionable shot calling. They went in under the tower while Hecarim was savaging their backline.
This is what we see from Najin. I mean, it looks like that part hasn't changed anyway. They have had the most, wow, Warmogs. All right, yeah, why not, man? Najin has had the most embarrassing loss in Champions so far.
I think that actually is a good buy. I really do believe that. When you're this far ahead, just become unkillable. You have the damage to destroy anybody on SK Telecom already, so.
Well, with the lifesteal from that Bloodthirster, I mean, you're just not going to really ever lose much health unless you get 5v1. And even then, you're going to take a few of them with you. Props to Kane. I mean, look at that. 0-3-21 this game. He's been around for 21 out of 23 kills.
Very good indeed.
So, Najin going for their dragon, and they will pick that one up. Easy dragon there. That was their third. Interesting stuff. And the first time we saw SKT versus Najin, at the very beginning of round one, it did end up being a 2-1 victory for SKT. So this isn't totally out of the ordinary. But having a 15-0-4 Kalista, that's a bit out of the ordinary. Yeah.
Oops. Mistakes were made.
Yeah. Bang.
Oh, it's very unusual.
Here we go. Cataclysm onto Faker. He's going to ult himself again. They've been forcing that ult out of Faker the entire time. Marin just completely locked down. Duke missing him with that E. Peekaboo comes in, tries to get the ult. The Zhonya's off, but no one there to follow up. And another easy fight for SKT. Marin's just going to recall. He's got that home guard. They're not going to be able to save their inhibitor, though. Najin just wisely backing out.
Yep, so
no rush.
Still a very slow closure from Najin, though, after their mistake in the final push. They just don't seem to be able to put together a clean closure no matter what happens in the game.
And I mean, that's one of the
you have 16K. You're 16K in the lead right now. You should be able to finish this game faster than what we see Najin doing right here, and they just get disrupted and distracted so easily.
Well, SKT, they're losing this game, but last game they did have the game finished by now as well. They closed it out in 36 minutes, pretty much exactly. And you can definitely see the difference in terms of ability to close. You're right there. Also,
SKT's shot calling, I feel, has been generally better this game. They've made the right decisions. It was just that OQ is way too far ahead for them to, you know, that Baron attempt that Najin made, had they not had a massive lead, would have been disastrous.
Oh, Bengi dodging some skill shots there.
And yeah, I would argue with a little better team fighting and target calling from SKT, it actually could have been disastrous as well. It was a little bit too close for comfort right there.
Weird, yeah.
Marin has pushed up that lane.
When you give a Kalista 5 kills in the first like 7 minutes of the game.
What Faker's doing right here. This is curious.
Yeah, maybe thinking about coming in for a possible flank. They're waiting to see if that Baron gets started by Najin, I guess.
Well, I think this is a really good move, actually, from SKT. They know that Najin was overeager last time. They still have the teleport up.
Here we go. Hecarim is going to be there.
Duke's waiting.
Yeah, that's right. And this is going to be a sick wild growth if Marin can get in there. Baron going down not too fast, and Kalista will be able to finish it off, but will SKT be able to get it? Here we go, SKT coming in, big ult. Najin locked up inside their own Cataclysm. A kill, though, coming in for Najin. It doesn't look like SKT is going to be able to do this one after all. Triple kill for Rain. Quadra kill for Rain.
Can he get a penta?
I think he may. Pentakill for Rain, and that will be the end of the game. A Xerath Pentakill to finish it all. SKT making an effort at the end, but Najin is going to ride that Pentakill to victory.
And Rain with the double-double, 10-1 and 10 against Faker in this game. Very good opening series he's having so far, and Najin scouting out some solid talent.
No kidding, 16-0-8 OQ at the end, GG, and we are going to a third game. Wow. Wow indeed, man. I mean, what else do you say? I mean, it's SK Telecom, and you've got Rain, who's never been in the booth before, and he is pentakilling SKT. And Faker, this is a series, and this is a much, much better Najin.
It is, on an individual level, and they are still the very dangerous team that can outplay you at multiple positions. They've got pretty much the best top laner in this league.
Yeah.
Of course, Smeb, also great, but he's had much more consistent teammates to work